Welcome everyone to the Q&A session of the Indiana block from the PopCon International Film Festival. I am co-director Audrey Lane.
And I'm co-director, let me mute you. I'm co-director George Lane for the PopCon International Film Festival.
So thank you two for being here. The block you just finished was near and dear to our hearts because it was an Indiana block. Although we had lots of films sprinkled out throughout the festival, we did want to dedicate a block just to the Indiana films, and it's really nice because they all kind of fit in there together. It's just kind of like a soul procession of differentness. Thank you, Caleb, for being here, and you represent Stalker, which was a short, and we have Jessica Koloian. Hopefully I did do it right. And you are the main actress from the feature that everyone just finished, hopefully, called Thy Neighbor. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So first, let's start with you, Caleb. Are you born and bred in Indiana, or are you a transplant?
No, I was born and raised in Lafayette, Indiana, and I'm living in Bloomington now and attending Indiana University. So I didn't go far, but just far enough away from home.
Exactly. So you've got to drive more than an hour, then you can officially say you moved.
Yeah, then you
Now tell us, did you film Stalker? Was that filmed in Bloomington?
Absolutely, yeah. We didn't really have a budget to go, international film shooting, but yeah, all here in Bloomington, Indiana.
Nice. And Jessica, the film that you worked in is Indiana-based. Did you shoot primarily here?
Yes, it was all filmed in Indiana.
What area?
Fort Wayne area.
Okay. Okay, and what area are you from? Because you are also an Indiana native.
I live outside of Lafayette, Indiana currently, and I'm originally from Plymouth, Michigan.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So so as you're shooting, Caleb, I know you were saying you had a small budget. What were some of the things that you were really trying to convey and work within the limits of your budget, but trying to, make your vision happen at the same time?
Yeah. Well, first I would say that it was a student film part of a project called Double Exposure at IU, where they pair filmmakers with composers all at IU, and then it's screened at the IU Cinema with a live score, actually, which is really unique and special to be a part of. So you might have noticed we didn't have any dialogue at all. And that was really to let the image and the score come through to tell the story. So it was a little bit of a passion project and experiment to see if we could get away with that. And I hope some of it worked, and it was clear enough, but also I like a lot of ambiguity in my films. So I hope you couldn't quite put everything together at the end. It left you kind of wondering.
I did not realize that. I don't know if it stated it anywhere in the biography or not, but I did not realize. We just thought it was, hey, they're making a movie. You are supposed to infer things. You watch it, you feel, you hear this, you hear the composition because it is there. There are no, there's no dialogue. So the fact that it was purposeful, I guess, even means more now because going into it, we didn't know that was that part of the story. So that's actually very intriguing and pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope we were able to pull it off.
Yes, absolutely. So you got the pairing was the direction plus the composition. How did you go about finding the performers in this film?
Well, we really, it was kind of I know this person knows this person. And then we just had a meetup and they ran a few lines. I talked to them about the script. It wasn't like a formal casting call. And I kind of like that organic process, just reaching out, finding somebody maybe or a friend of a friend that you think has, the right look for this part or that part. And you don't actually really see even the stalker in the film. So it was really all on Emma. And I think she did a fantastic, phenomenal job. in the film. But it was really an organic sort of friend of a friend who you know type of process.
Yeah, and I definitely like what you had said just a little bit ago about not wanting to. Well, I guess whenever I was watching it, I put my own opinions and thoughts into with what you were showing me. I was just like, oh, okay. So I had my own perspective, and I see why that was the route that you took with that now, and that was pretty interesting. It makes a lot more sense now that I'm hearing it from you, because I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what that was, and I can see why somebody else would think, well, no, it could be looked at like this also in this other way. So I like that ambiguity. That was fun.
That's great. That's that's what I'm hoping for, that somebody sees it and walks away and has to think about it just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, everything's not all tied up.
Now, Jessica, when shooting Thy Neighbor, was there any kind of issues like dealing with as far as the putting the film together? That was there was a decent sized cast. There was a lot of different locations. Was there any kind of issues that happened whenever trying to make the film work with such a wide spectrum of locations and people for it to come together, as far as making sure that it got done in time?
As an actor observing it, I think they moved so smoothly and flawlessly through the whole process. George is a phenomenal director. He did a great job finding people, a whole team to surround himself with to make the story work and to move through it with very few flaws or glitches or production problems. So I, as an actor, didn't observe anything like that. So if he did have anything, he did a great job of sheltering and protecting us from any of those complications.
Cool. It was a lot of fun because whenever I watched it, I felt myself in that position of asking, what would I do in the situation? It was just like, okay, do you want to just not jump to the conclusions that this guy is creepy and just give him the benefit of the doubt, or do you choke him out? Like, it was like one of those things.
Where did you land? What would you do?
I don't know, because I was more like on the choke him out. But I did question myself, because I was like, all right, you want to try to take that high road and be like, you know what, this guy probably doesn't have a lot of friends. Just by the way he's seems a little antisocial. You already knew people thought that he was weird, so you wanted to reach out and extend that that olive branch. But man, he just sent up so many red lights that was just like, okay, there's probably a reason.
I get so much hate about the hot tub scene. People think like I went, oh, Mr. Director, can we put that in the script? Like they think it was me, Jessica, choosing all that. It's like, no, it's in the script. I didn't opt into that. But I really empathize with Amber and just trying to not make someone feel weird for making you feel weird. That's something I am guilty of all the time, because I don't want anyone to think I'm judging them. But man, it can get you into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And I think that until almost the very end, you're really, am I unmuted? Oh, okay. You're really not, you're kind of on the fence about where he lies. Is he, kind of good, but kind of bad? Is he just misunderstood? Because so many people are socially awkward to the point of sometimes they don't know that they're being inappropriate. And those are the ones that I really find myself having to have patience with. So when you've met people in real life and you're like, okay, this person doesn't have a lot of interaction, so maybe they don't realize that line is right there and they are dancing on it with being inappropriate. And, a lot of times you can scale back how you react. But I feel like the husband in that case, he tried, like, he could have tried harder, but he tried a little bit, and it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to draw that line in the sand. You're inappropriate. I kind of don't want this happening. But then you still feel sorry and you feel empathy for him, and you want, maybe him to find a friend in your character. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm sure it's meant to make you kind of question how you would react to certain
Yeah.
situations. So,
Absolutely.
what was your most challenging scene? Because your character had like so many different sides. From being a certain type of wife, and if anyone has known people that have grown up or known like the people in church that are the pastor's wife or the people that have the higher positions, you do almost have to hit a certain role and be prim and proper and then be there and supportive, and then you're also trying to be a parent and also trying to be a good partner, and there's all these roles, and your character kind of had a lot of different faces. What was the most challenging of those for you?
I would say emotionally, what took the most out of me was the scene with the door where the neighbor had made a key and eventually unlocks the door. When we were on set for that, it was terrifying to film, and I'm holding the knife behind my back and it's shaking, and they're like, "Can you like stop shaking the knife?" And I was like, "I don't think I can, you guys. I'm terrified." And they were like, "We swear we'll yell cut. We will not let him come in the door." Because Dave, who played the neighbor and like killed it, was method acting on set. So I was kind of creeped out by him just in general. And so this scene was just like, I was so on edge. The hot tub put me on edge, but the scene with the door was like, oh, this is just so cringy and gross. And so they were like, "Jessica, it's not real. You're going to be okay. We're not going to let him come in the door. We'll yell cut." Well, they didn't yell cut. I was just threw the knife over at a crew member and like ran to shove the door shut. And
Oh my gosh.
I hope no one was injured, but it was getting there emotionally. Like I just tried to let myself feel as scared as Amber would in those moments. And so it was really awkward and terrifying and scary. And then contrasting that with this woman who's also really loving and kind and just wants to see the best in people. It's like she just goes on this like straight down on a roller coaster from like wanting to see the best in people and help them and rescue them to I have to save myself now. And this is the first time I've ever had to do that. So it was a lot emotionally, but it was really fun and challenging.
Caleb, when Stalker, when looking at your film, like I was saying, I had my own perspective on what was going on, and she, came on up to, kill her captor. So hopefully everybody else has seen this. If not, why are you watching the Q&A? But
don't blame us for spoilers.
Exactly. She says, "Do not blame us for spoilers." But with that, was that? I'm curious your perspective. I mean, with you, even though you're wanting to do it, or are you not wanting to give up anything as far as you're wanting to keep that in ambiguity, or?
Oh, that's always a tough line to walk. And to be honest, I don't know if I could give you the perfect answer for it, because I'm not sure I know myself. Even when writing the treatment, I didn't have a clear-cut answer on what the dynamic is there, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna, unfortunately, I'm sorry about all those games.
It's all good. You can plead the fifth.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I can answer that one.
Oh, it's all good. Now it's.
Keep going. I'll let you keep going, and I'll just.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now, as far as the production and putting it together, getting that right light, because anytime you end up having a lot of dark spaces, there's issues with trying to get the right lighting. Sometimes it's just too dark. And how did you make sure that you were able to get the correct lighting, maintain a good camera focus inside that shot, mainly when she's captive? So many times I'm seeing movies and I'm squinting. I'm trying to end up getting, seeing that. Or some people, whenever it's so dark, they use the blue light where it lights up the whole room, and that's cool. You can see everything.
Yeah.
How did you make that work? Was it a difficult thing to find that correct balance?
That's a wonderful question. I think part of it is that for such a dark film, and it was shot all at night. So I think you really just have to embrace the darkness and not shy away from it. So don't be afraid that there's, you know, a darkened corner or a shadow that you can't see into. I think so often that just adds to the horror or the thrill of a moment. And also to have an amazing crew that knows exactly how to light a scene and shoot it, so that there are shadows there and that they don't look, you know, like they're not supposed to be there. So you see just what we want you to see, but really not more than that. So I'd say it's a fantastic crew, but also just to embrace the darkness, that it's okay, as dark as that sounds. I hope that helps. I did want to just say, Jessica, because we were talking about your acting a moment ago, it really was such a dynamic character, and you did a fantastic job acting.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I really. It's funny and it's amazing because we work for another film festival and we have, you know, multiple cycles a year. We've been doing it for years, and it's amazing because this was the PopCon's inaugural film festival. They've had 7 years as a amazing convention, but the amount of films that we got that were Indiana based, not only was it a lot, they were great, and they covered all different kinds of genres. I mean, we had some comedy, we had some horror, we have kind of a horror thriller. Yours is a thriller. We had End of the World with Dick and Jane, which was just a straight galactic comedy. I mean, there's so many films that we had. So we are just super appreciative of you guys submitting your work, and the fact that so many great performances and great creations came out of Indiana is just like an extra ode. And I just wanted to make sure I said that before, you know, we ended, and I forgot not to worry about the end right at this moment, but I just wanted to say it. So thank you guys for presenting, you know, all of your amazing things. So what I want to ask next is, Caleb, how long was your shoot? I know you said it was you had a small crew and budget, but how long did it take you to bring it to fruition?
So it really spanned, because it was a student film, over 2 full semesters. And the first semester was all of the production. And then we shifted to the score, which took just as much time as the production itself, and the sound design as well. And I'm not sure this is something that, I'm sure people do realize it, but the audio on any film is just a tremendous effort. And if one little piece is wrong, you lose, you know, that emotional buy-in that you have watching it. So yeah, those 2 pieces had about the same amount of time, and it took about a full year, an academic year, I guess.
Wow.
To finish the film.
Did you get say, or did you work with the composer, or did you get kind of a say over the direction it went, or?
Yeah, I mean, the composer was on from the very beginning, and they, in a sense, get to choose their own projects too, something that they'll, you know, that they're interested in and would have fun with, you know? So they're in it from the very beginning, and we have spotting sessions throughout for the sound design and the composition. So they're in it hard from the get-go.
That sounds amazing. Is it something that you would recommend for other? Now that you had to be a student though to do this, right? This wasn't like a IU community project. It was just student only.
Right, unfortunately.
Well, or not, or now that people know you can direct other people to it. I hadn't heard of it, and we love hearing things like that because there's so many innovations going on at the educational level, you know, throughout different schools. For instance, one of the films we had was based on the rise of a esports collegiate team at a college in Pennsylvania. That it's a full academic scholarship. They, you know, are working to make, you know, video games and other things, and it's kind of their career path, but it's a full collegiate sport that is supported by the school.
Wow.
And that's, it's a competitive sports team, but it's not basketball, it's not football, it's not soccer. It is for gaming, which is incredible. So all these opportunities are available at levels that we don't know about. So we really love that we can get that word out. So with what you just did is amazing. Hadn't heard of it, and I think it's a great idea.
I fully agree with you.
Awesome.
I was happy to be a part of it.
Awesome.
So, Jessica, what do you have any projects that you're currently in the works right now, or something that you would want to do if you don't have anything currently coming up?
I don't have anything currently coming up. I've auditioned for several projects and I'm waiting to hear back from those, but nothing currently. I've kind of been writing some stuff though, which is really hard, but I'm trying my hand at it. It's something that I get lots of ideas talking to other filmmakers of different options. So maybe I'll be bold and try and make my own project.
Any particular genre that you're shooting to write for?
I have a thriller in mind, probably inspired by Thy Neighbor. I have a romantic drama in mind, like stark contrast to the thriller. And then my husband and I are kind of working on like this kids animation. So kind of all over the board.
Yeah, those are fun. Lots of different projects to to take on. Yeah, show a little diversity and with what you can do and flex those muscles.
Yeah.
Caleb, same question to you. Is there something that you have coming up that you want to talk about? And if not, maybe a project that you're like a dream project you'd like to take on?
I have been working on another script that's somewhat in the same vein, about women alien creatures who hunt people for the survival of their species. I guess that's the log line. It's somewhere between like Refn's Drive and Under the Skin, with like a Carpenter synth for under. So those are just the ideas popping around in my head right now. But yeah, I'm working on that. Hopefully next semester we can turn it in.
Awesome. And as far as if anybody wants to find you, Caleb, social media, stuff like that, can you let everybody know where they'd be able to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I am on Twitter at Caleb Allison 6. I recently just popped off Facebook, but I'm sure I'll pop back on again eventually, as one does. So that's where I am now. Or anywhere, if you search me at IU, I'll pop up.
Awesome. Jessica, same thing. If anybody's looking to get a hold of you, what way is best? Social media, website?
Yep, social media. So I'm at Jessica Koloian. That's my handle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Awesome. I really appreciate you guys coming in here, sitting with us for this Q&A. Thank you so much. We had a lot of fun watching your films, reviewing your films. So thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But before we go, we just want to remind you guys that the awards presentation is at 7 tonight. You can pop in when you're on your main page under My Media. It will be down there and it'll say Film Fest Awards, and you just click on it, and it's going to open up at 6:30 just so people can start gathering if they want. But the award ceremony will be at 7. So we hope that you guys, get a chance to pop in there.
Okay.
We'll definitely be there.
Awesome. So thank you both so much, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.